To the people we shine, giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island, strong. With the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bring it home. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island, strong. With the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride, making waves across the seas.
Time to do better. Beacon's Be Better Group Health Plan now offers new and improved options that make health insurance affordable for small to medium businesses. Good medical cover gives you a competitive edge and takes care of the people that take care of your business. Get a better plan to build a better business. Call Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
Pick yourself up with Ride Rent at Ebike today and take advantage of the smartest and coolest way to get around. Rental starting for only $30 per hour and less than $100 EC per day. Zip through traffic, save money, and look awesome doing it. Check us out at the Esplanade Mall today. Visit us online at ridersebike.com or give us a call at 473-422-1011. Your wallet and the planet will thank you. Ride Rent at Ebike.
Yeah! Yo! Welcome to Ride Along Live for today. It's Tuesday, aka my Monday, and let me first start off by apologizing, guys, for not being here yesterday. Completely beyond my control. I was sick like a dog yesterday, guys. You see how you see me now? Yesterday I was just completely the opposite of that. So I bounced back quick. Let's put it like that. Because yesterday, boy, I was down and out. But thanks to everyone who called and was very concerned. But I'm doing much better. Headache, body pain, stuffy nose, everything, man. It came down on me all at once. Like I got everything. But it only lasted about a day, right? A day and some. Guys, today it's what's pissing you off. And besides the little cold that I had yesterday pissing me off, there's a bunch of other things that's stuck in my craw that I have to talk about today. And there are a few topical issues that has been circulating on social media for the entire day that we're going to talk about. I've seen a lot of shares, a lot of tags, a lot of people WhatsApp me this story. So we have to touch on it. Of course, right along live. We see when we start the conversation here, we end the conversation here. All right? Because today I was able to dive deeper into this whole situation that occurred. And I may be able to give you guys a better sense of understanding as to what transpired. All right? So a lot to digest, a lot to think about, a lot to talk about of what's pissing people off, what's pissing me off. And we have a guest. We have two guests that are going to be joining us shortly. So, guys, let's start by sharing the thing now. Sharing the thing because we're going to be an interesting program here today. Let me share over on my end as well. Share. Yeah. At followers, everybody. At followers. We want everybody to watch this because, again, there have been a lot of questions. There have been a lot of questions about the topic that we're going to be discussing here today, and we're going to put it to rest. Thank you, Jennifer. Lawrence, I appreciate you. Yulene, Alexander, thank you so much. At followers, guys. At followers. Right? At followers. I'm doing the same thing as well. At followers. At followers. Yulene, thank you so much. Cassandra, tag somebody and add followers, guys. You can either tag them or add followers. Either one. Let it get the message. All right? I'm doing it here as well. Tag, 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 tag. Lonnie, thank you so much. Thank you for add followers. Thank you, Grenada Sunshine. Thank you for add followers. I appreciate that. Okay, nice. I'm almost there, almost there. You know when I don't add followers and I don't tag my friends. Rose, how you doing? People just come back and curse me out there, so I don't want to get cursed out today, so let me do the damn thing, right? So let me do it right now. Add followers. Right, there we go. And also, I was even go one step further and I just pin it up to the top of my page. All right. Okay, guys, so let's talk. Let's talk now. This camera right here. Let's talk. So before we talk about the topical issue, and I know what a lot of you guys want to speak about, I gotta say this, right? Because you have to be careful. You have to be careful of people. You have to be very careful of people, guys. And I'm naturally a cool, calm, and collective fella. I don't bother nobody. I defend myself. I've never got into any physical altercation because I'm bigger than that. I know how to deal with things before it gets to that point, right? So earlier this week, I posted a picture of Kamala Harris on Ride Along page, right? And everybody, they're free to say what they want. U.S. election is coming up soon. So everybody is passionate about the election. If you think people passionate about Grenada election, they are even more passionate about the U.S. election because we have two very separate different candidates. They're on two different poles, not on South Pole. So anyway, this young lady, I saw her arguing in the chat for the longest period at the time of the post, right? So she arguing back and forth with everybody because she's a Trump supporter. And nothing wrong with being a Trump supporter. If she supports Trump, she could support Trump. I don't care. She could support whoever she wants to support. It's not me to tell her who to support or whatever the case is. But she was, making a lot of different comments back and forth. I could have care less. And then she tagged me a few posts. And so it got my attention, right? So I looked at the post, and her post was basically saying something to the effect that Trump is still our president because he never conceded, right? That's kind of what she said. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, what are you talking about? Before somebody that been on the platform for a while, so I guess she know me, and sometimes I love a political debate. I love a political debate, especially in terms of things that I'm very, very familiar with. The U.S. Electoral College, I'm very familiar with this stuff. Anyway, so I said to the lady, I said, what are you talking about? I said, so he don't have to concede. He lost the election. Anyway, she made a few other tags and posts after that. And then I thought I probably ignored it or something. Or I think one of the posts that she made, I sort of said something to the effect. I may have said something to the effect of, did you drink alcohol today or yesterday? Something like that. I probably said something like that, right? Anyway, the lady inboxed me. She inboxed me, She inboxed me and sent like a 42-page paragraph of something that she claimed is some constitutional something, why Trump could steal our president and all of that stuff. So I said, don't send me this garbage because it's pure garbage. I'm not going to waste my time and read 42 paragraphs of some BS, right? I don't have time for that. I said, don't send me this. I don't have time to read it. She went on and on and on. The conversation escalated. And I told the lady, I said, listen, ma'am, all due respect, right? I said it very, very respectful. In all due respect, I think you're high on something. Because you keep saying this thing and it doesn't make sense. Like, think about it logically. If your son is playing a game of football or soccer or whatever, if he lost, he lost. Let him know that he lost. But anyway, the lady went on and went on and went on. And I keep defending the fact that she probably need to check something in her head. I don't know. Something like that, right? The lady, in turn, you know what she did? You know what this lady did? I don't know who she is. Lady, if you're watching, what you try to do following this conversation was not right. She went ahead and reported it to Facebook and said, I am harassing her. Me. How am I harassing her? She messaged me and started telling me all this crap, toilet paper garbage. I'm just telling the lady, listen, ma'am, you are wrong. This is not the way to think about it. Right? I don't care if you support Trump or whoever. It's not my position to tell you who to support, who not to support, or who to vote for, who not to vote for. It's not my position. She went and she reported it to Facebook. And Facebook, with I don't understand, Facebook in turn blocked me. Yeah. Facebook blocked me. And gave me a community strike. You can't make this stuff up. Like, how did I harass this woman? What did I do to harass this woman? So for everyone who was messaging me over the past couple of days and I could not respond, it's because I could not respond. Because this woman from somewhere, Galactic X or something, I don't know, she decided to put a community strike off on the page because I did not support or endorse. And in fact, I gave her good advice. I said, go check your head. Like something probably wrong with you. I don't know. She gave me a community strike. Then she deleted herself from the page. Hasta la vista. You know, I didn't delete her. She deleted herself and she just gone her way. I can't understand that. I don't understand this thing. Like, I did not initiate a conversation with this lady. I only said to the lady, the worst thing I said to her is, did you drink alcohol today? And I probably was right because she was behaving erratic. Anyway, guys, that's what's stuck in my craw. Because a lot of people have been messaging right along. We get hundreds of messages every day. And I couldn't respond to those messages. Right? So I apologize for that. But that was the reason why we couldn't respond to a lot of your messages, because it was this person, right? Anyway, had to get that out. She blocked herself. I didn't block her. She blocked herself, and we really try not to block people on the platform. I want people to engage each other. If you got blocked on Ride Along, you did something really bad. You did something really bad. If you got blocked on Ride Along, you went to the dogs and my moderators blocked you. And they have all reason to, and we try not to unblock. We give it like a whole year just to thaw out. But we don't block a lot of people. So if she's watching, Miss Lady, I want you to tell me, how did I harass you? How did I harass you? And why did you file this phony claim against the entire platform telling Facebook that I harass you? Okay. What's going on? Lord of His mercy. Anyway, guys, there is a very topical issue that I want to touch on next. You guys have been paying attention to this because I've got a lot of tags from you to check out the story. In fact, I think Anna posted it today, and then I got 50-something tags and messages from people who said, Junior, you need to help this lady. The caption read something of the sort that this young lady from Carriacou, her name clearly stated there, her name is Samantha, and the caption on the page was that she's seeking assistance for living arrangements, right? She has 8 kids and she's in a bad and desperate position. So after I got so much, tags, I didn't read all the posts and follow up on what the minister said. I instantly posted that, okay, have her contact Right Along Live so we could see how we could help, because that's what we do. Later, I got a chance to really understand the story. And here's what I understood, because we did reach out to the young lady and had a conversation with her. And I understood her point of view. And then, because it relates to a minister, I also had an opportunity to speak to the minister, Tevin Andrew, in Carriacou, and try to have a full understanding. So today, we're going to put this whole story into perspective based on what we understand about this entire story. All right? So to help me put this thing together is veteran media personality, entertainer, all-around good guy. You probably want to put an MBE at the end of his name or the beginning of his name. He is one of the stalwart, one of the ambassadors of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. He owns his own radio station in Carriacou, and it streams all the way down Grenada and the Grenadines Island. He is one of the top broadcaster on the island and probably in the Eastern Caribbean region. He happens to be a good friend of mine and always give me a stamp of approval on my passport whenever I end up in Carriacou. He is Kim the King, looking brand spanking new. Kim, how you doing, my friend? Well, let me unmute you. Let me unmute you. Yeah, go ahead. Kim, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing okay, all right. I want to make one correction. You just mentioned something about probably MBE.
It's not probably.
It's not probably.
It is.
It is.
That's what I know. Kim the King, MBE.
All right. Okay.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
But it's nice. It's nice being on a program.
Yes.
And like always, whenever you call on me and you ask me to participate, as long as I have the time, I'll make it, because I think it's important sometimes to get different views, and different subject, whatever is happening around us. We are the ones who are supposed to air our opinions, and if there are facts, whatever, we state the facts as it is, and people make up their minds as to what the situation is,
Absolutely. So that's why I call on you, Kim. You are a trusted voice in media, and people listen to you. So I want to get a full understanding of the story that I preambled earlier. The young lady and the minister. What's your understanding of that story?
Well, my understanding, her situation, as she must have mentioned, and it's known that she has 8 kids. And the minister reached out to her at some point in time, trying to assist her. And he offered her a 3-bedroom apartment, furnished and everything like that, so she could accommodate her kids and make herself comfortable as compared to where she was. Because after burial, I think the whole property was destroyed. And she refused, as far as he said. She didn't want to accept that, because the area which she was proposing, she didn't like the area. And she refused. And then that's where the story started off now, because the producer of that video seemed to have gone by her and trying to, as she always do, that producer always go around getting stories from people here. They're posting stories, hearing it from the horse's mouth is always better.
Right.
And that sort of went viral because of the fact that she is claiming that she doesn't want what they offer, she wants what she wants. And the area that she's living is called a Mang. And that is an area that's infested with mosquitoes. I mean, a lot of water. The Mang means mangrove, eh?
Okay.
And yeah. And that's an area that's infested with a lot of mosquitoes. And there's been a lot of squatting there. We have to face facts as it is. A lot of people just setting up little units here and units there, whatever, without permission, whatever. And that's been an area they know that, that has been totally been destroyed now. And the government is trying to see if it could move this residents to a level, an upper level, by offering accommodation, in the areas where they have the prefab houses or maybe the build back houses. And she, in particular, as far as we do know, refused.
Right. Okay. Tell us about that area, Kim. Again, I'm hearing your side of it, and then
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell the audience what she told me, so we could
yeah.
contrast on what the minister told me. Tell me about that mangrove area where she reside.
Well, it's an area that's inhabited by quite a number of persons. And that has happened over the years. And as far as I do know, people have been just building there without permission, setting up little shacks, and stuff like that. Nothing of, really just, something to just over the heads, whatever. And that is what the area has been like. There is no proper roads in there. It's tracks, because it's all dirt. And electricity and things like that is limited. And these people have been there for the longest while, and it's not an area that is really of the best, for people to be living in. And there's a second thing about that area is that that area is in line with the airport,
Right.
the Royston Airport, and it has been said over the last year or two, this new government has been thinking about extending the airport runway. Now, by doing so, it's going to extend into taking up part of that Mang area. And it wouldn't be a good idea to have aircrafts lifting, taking off on the airstrip over a populated area.
Right.
So, so I know that the government has been looking to see if they could help move these people out of the area, give them better living conditions, and hopefully, if everything goes okay, the runway of the Lauriston Airport would be extended.
Right. Now,
Uh-huh.
tell me about the housing situation there, because from my understanding is that there are a back area to that complex area, that Mang area there, and there is a front area of it. Right. There are people living more to the back, and there are also people that are living more to the front. Correct.
That's correct, yes. Uh-huh.
Right. So you're saying in the whole area, it is just a series of squatters, people that they don't necessarily own the land, they just on that piece of land.
All right. Okay, now you just mentioned back and front. So let
Right.
me see if I could just split the back and the front for you. The front area is basically an area that was people bought the lands and built proper houses. And there's access road, proper access road that services these people. So they are to the front of the area.
Right.
Then as you go further inside, what you just mentioned, the back area now, that is the area where it's just open vegetation, shrubs, whatever, mang type vegetation. And that is where a lot of people have been building and trying to occupy that area. That's the back area. And that's the swamp area as well, too. Because if you just go a little further into the back, you meet the swamp, the real swamp there. And that's where you have a lot of this bush and everything like that there that affects people's lives.
What is the toilet situation and the water situation in that area?
There's no there's no toilet situation in that area.
So people have pit toilet in the back there.
Well, yeah, whatever you want to call it, I don't know if they have some, maybe have some, maybe some don't have. I don't know.
Right.
Possible, but water situation again. There's no water situation there. I see Nawasa. We've been doing a lot of work in Carriacou, bringing the services to people closer. There's no water situation there as well too. So people they're basically just surviving on whatever way they could provide for themselves.
Right. Okay. Um, So we have two problems there that I see. Well, one particular problem that is very unsanitary is the fact that you have swamp, you have pit toilet, and you have a lot of water back and forth, which means that all this stuff would just be commingling together, and that could cause of course, a lot of illness, a lot of sickness, mosquito-borne disease, and all of that stuff. But however, it was allowed to happen over a period of time. For over an extended period of time, there was living there, and they weren't asked to move at any time, right?
Well, not to my knowledge, they've been asked to move, but it's always been an eyesore, and it's something that I know that governments have been looking at for quite a while and not happy about it. But so, you see, what has transpired over the years is that quite a number of the people who have gone there, who are living there, have been supporters of the administration, the former administration. So sometimes it gets a little bit sticky asking these people to move because at the come election time, you have a problem. They just may not support you.
Right.
So the government sort of like lay back to a certain extent, not harassing them, although they would like to, but trying to see if they could just, ignore the situation to a certain extent and just let it go by. And then what has happened to over the years is that more and more people are coming into the area.
Right. Okay.
Right.
All right. So we're joined now by my good friend Bobby Steele. I wanted Bobby to jump in on the conversation because there are a number of other things that we're going to be speaking about. So Bobby, welcome to the program. How are you doing, Bobby?
Good man, good. I'm enjoying our conversation. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So the first part of it, Bobby, I don't know if
Okay.
you've been following.
Junior, hold on a sec. Let me say hi to Bobby, my good old
But I have
friend.
to say hi to you too, sir. How you doing?
Long
Long
time,
time, man. Long time.
long time. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So,
Mm.
Bobby, the first part of this conversation, we're talking about a topical issue that have been circulating on social media today. I don't know if you've been following it with a young lady who was, well, the long and short of it was that she was given a 3-bedroom property in the Dumfries area, and she decided to not take the property and opt to stay where she is in the mangrove area, which is, as Kim is saying, that is a swampy area, an area that is not really conducive to good living, and she have 8 kids. So we're just establishing the area and what it looks like. So if you want to
What?
contribute anything to
What?
this part.
Just to get caught up on it, what was the situation for not wanting to take the house as offered?
Right. So that's where we're going into that whole that gear right now, right?
Right,
So,
right.
so before we get there, Kim, let me say this. After
Yeah.
speaking to the young lady, I found out from her that she did in fact have some sort of document, some papers that was given to her or that was handed to her, that was issued to her by the former administration, the former MP for that particular area right there. So she, in fact, as far as she knows, she have documentation for the area that she resides on. So it's not like she don't believe, at least, that she don't have right to where she is. As far as what she said, as far as what she told me, would that be the understanding of everyone else in that area there? That they were given the land, signed over the land, or somehow sold the land, or I don't know.
Let me comment on that, Junior, because what I do know is that the past administration, before a couple of elections, I remember back, I think it was back in 2008 or
Uh-huh.
something of the nature, was giving letters to people telling them that they have a plot of land that was allocated for them and whatever. And that was, as far as we do know, was very misleading because the lands didn't exist. And sometimes you would have find situations where 2 or 3 persons were given the same plot of land, and then there's confusion to come after that because each and every one want to claim it, and the lands or the amount of letters they gave out and the number of plots that were available didn't match up. So I don't know if that area that they were given that sort of a letter as well. So I can't really say much as to what transpired in the Mang, but I know in other areas that happened.
Okay.
But just a letter is not enough to say, well, is you own the property or
Well, I don't know the magnitude of the document that she had. She never presented it to me, but she did say to me that she possessed document that gave her some legal bearing to that piece of property, right? To that piece of property there, right? So, from your understanding, Kim,
yeah.
Why do you think that she declined or is declining from accepting a 3 bedroom house, brand new, fully furnished, right?
Okay. Let me tell you what's on the ground, and I'm going to say this is just on the ground. I have no evidence to back up the statements that people are making.
Right.
But the talk on the ground is that she, in particular, as quite of the others who were given or who are allowed to stay on the property, are supporters of the administration, right? And then they're thinking that if they accept something from this new administration, it will show that they are sort of supporting the administration for accepting. I mean, it doesn't make much sense to me, but this is the talk on the ground. So now, in order to disassociate yourself with this administration, you don't want nothing that they're giving you. You're gonna stay the way you are. That's
That's
I don't think that makes sense. That's what I'm hearing on the ground.
right.
But I mean, but that's the hot talk in Carriacou. That a
Right.
lot of people refusing assistance because of where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Bobby, I don't know if you want to jump in here because this is a confusing piece
Well,
of
but
something
let me
here.
tell you,
Mhm.
I have heard that kind of talk so many times, even over here in other areas. For the life of me, again, I'm only going because it's a talk. I
Right.
have no information to back up that that is actual fact. But if it is true, it is very sad that people put politics to that level before you put your family, housing, and looking after your individual family first. You know, but I mean, I hope it's more than that. I hope it has because that would not really stand up. You know what I mean? Well, what happens if the next government doesn't come in power? Next thing, you're gonna sit down there and just wait forever? You know,
Right.
that's not a legitimate grounds to refuse a good house. You know what I mean?
Right. But this is her claim. Again, I did get a chance to speak to the young lady. She's not here to defend it, but we had a good lengthy 20, 30 minutes conversation. This is her claim. She told me that the reason why she did not accept the property, the new property in Dumfries, 3 bedroom, fully furnished property in Dumfries, is because of the distance between Dumfries and Tongue and her kids, because she do have 8 kids, and her kids need to um, get up in the morning, go to school, transportation, and all that other stuff. And that would mean that they would have to get up extra early because of the
Yeah.
distance between there and point A and point B. Kim, does that kind of pass the smell test for you?
Well, not really, because I'll tell you, Carriacou is that big. And the difference in driving from the area where she is to where they propose to give her is less than 5 minutes. And the second thing is that that area in particular, or is developing one, and the administration also provide free transportation for children going to school. So if she applies for that, definitely she would get it. I don't think they'll deny her because she's in need. So
Right.
I don't really want to buy that 100%. I can't see that as a factor
Right.
as compared to where she is and what she's getting. I mean, I wish something like that was offered to me. I would grab it with my eyes closed and run with it.
Yeah, because again, I looking at it from face value, and Bobby, you could jump in here as well. Looking at it at face value, it does not make sense to most people. But I'm still trying to see it from her perspective. Is it possible that she is in a position that she's unable to afford transportation allowance for money to transport her and her 8 kids from that location to Tongue when she have to transverse or when the kids have to go to school, right?
But to have even uh, just listening to the earlier part of the conversation, I don't really have an understanding of the condition of the house where she was in terms of the actual physical structure. But definitely, based on what I'm hearing of the situations in terms of bathrooms, in terms of the mosquito areas, instead of all of that aspect, shouldn't the first choice always be to think about the health of your kids? Being able to live in an area that has easier access to get to school, but your kid could potentially get very sick from the mosquitoes and stuff in that area, and the potential diseases that are in that area from open sewage. I mean, to me, that is not making any sense at all. You know?
Right. So, sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Are you hearing me?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. What happened is I just looked at my router there and I realized that my internet was in a limbo. The last things that you said. So if you just repeat.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, like I was saying, it seems that seems like a very if that is the story, you have to be more behind it than that because based on what Kim is saying, the area that she was living in with the open sewage, the mosquito infested area, all of that aspects of it, I think that that would definitely be more than enough reason to move to a safer environment, even though the distance to town is more. Because I mean, the money that if a child gets sick in that area, it's going to be 10 times worse for her if it is a situation of financials.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the medical bills alone to look after somebody sick, especially I have a big family that and multiple people get sick. You know,
Mhm.
I think you have to put the safety of your children first and get to a healthy area, and then you build from there.
Right. Okay. So all you know what happened in there. Kim, so if that happened again, Kim, just take over because you're a professional broadcaster. Because I see me, I see me, my internet.
I realize, I see what's going on with you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I
Uh-huh.
didn't hear what Bobby said, but Kim, you could respond to that, and then I'll catch up with the
No,
conversation.
no, but what Bobby is saying is correct in my view, eh? Because he's making a statement whereby, I mean, you have to take the health of your kids, your family first, always. And if the area you are and the area that you're moving to is going to be much better, I mean, if there is a situation where you need some financial help for some sort of a illness or anything of the nature, it will be more than what you're trying to run away from, as compared to what you have gotten. So that argument that's coming up there, I don't want to buy it. I can't buy that. In my business, I wouldn't buy that to sell it. No.
Yeah, but I don't understand for the life of me. I mean, if someone came to me in New York or anywhere and said they're giving me a house, I'm going to take it, right? Me personally. So it's kind of hard for a lot of people to understand, but I'm also trying to look at it from her perspective. It's obviously that she is holding on to something that is far greater in her perception, in her mind, no matter what people tell her or told her. It's obviously like she's probably holding on to something that has far more value to her than what she's receiving. Otherwise, it would have been just a common sense decision to just say, okay, wow, well, I'm getting this versus that, and that's more than this, so I'm gonna take that, right? Regardless of what people telling her, regardless of what the conversation is, it's obviously that she's holding on to something that is far greater than what she is receiving or what she would receive.
Well, if I were to make a comment on that, I don't understand it from no none from her side. We don't understand. And listen to her speaking. I'm getting the sense that she's just maybe wants to be in that area that she's used to. Maybe families around her, maybe friends, and she think maybe she might be losing some of that sort of a environment to be moving into a new environment. And it could be something of the nature. I mean, really, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Right.
Not at all. Yeah.
Guys, again, this is what's pissing you off on a Tuesday. We're inviting you guys to call as well. The first topic that we're talking about is this particular situation here. This young lady, a very viral conversation, who was gifted a three-bedroom house. She has 8 kids. She was gifted a three-bedroom house, and she, on all indication, she declined from that offer, deciding to stay in the mangrove area. And as Kim situated the whole area, the place is a swampy area. That area there is mud, it's messy. In most cases, when it rains, it is a devastating area, much less if there was some kind of hurricane or storm to pass there again. We spoke to the minister earlier today, and what he's saying is that the government made the decision, not now, but a while, that they want to do away with a lot of the building in that particular area there because of the obvious, the mosquito-borne disease, the probable mosquito-borne disease that may happen there, not suitable for children. She do have 8 kids, and then so he decided to offer her the opportunity now to move to a different area. She's contesting and saying that she don't want to move there because it is far, it is off from the beaten path from where she is, and she's not in a position to transport or transverse back and forth from that area there. That's what she's saying. So let's bounce to the phone, and we got a caller on the line right now. Caller, you live? Go right ahead.
Hi, Junior. Hi, Bobby and Kim. Good night. How everybody doing?
We good.
All right. So listen, here in the U.S., when the government is giving you housing or assisting you with home ownership, right?
Yeah.
There's a program that you have to go through where you learn how to be a homeowner, what it takes to be a homeowner in terms of your taxes, in terms of maintaining that house, in terms of securing your investment long term into the future. Junior, this lady should not have been offered a house first to begin with. This lady should have been offered counseling and intervention. If you look at this modern era, 2024, you're poor, you're vulnerable, and you have 8 children. You didn't learn your lesson after 2, 3, 4, not 5. We at number 8 at this point in time. And now, instead of us giving you the tools that you need, we put in a roof over your head. What happens to that house in 5 years? What happens to that house in 5 years when she doesn't know what to do, when she doesn't know how to maintain it, how to take care of it, and how to upkeep it? What happens then? People like that, they need special intervention. People like that, they need special help. They need coaching. They don't just need a home. They need a therapist. They need help. This young lady clearly is not thinking correctly, and what she needs is not a house. She needs some form of an intervention in her personal life with the way she operates, choices that she makes, and then you can think about giving her a home after that. There's no point in giving somebody a home who's going to destroy it. Thank you. Good night.
All right. Bobby, what's your thoughts?
Well, I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with it. I mean, yes, you have to look at, all right, while the counseling is going on, while intervention, we have to put the kids, because the kids are still there. You have to think about the kids as well in this program, because you can't just leave the kids, unhoused. But at the same time, I definitely agree that that was such a valid point. I must commend that. That was a very valid point. But Junior, I was also going to come back to say that somebody also have to take a look at it, and they will tie in, because maybe she's been very ill-advised by somebody around her. And Kim raised a point earlier, right? If for example, she has a piece of, let us say, something that is making her feel that she owns the land where she is right now, and then the government is talking about extending the airport strip over a piece of land, maybe somebody is badly advising her that the value of the land where she is will be way more, like the government will then pay money, right,
Right.
to move her in order to get there. But I mean, sometimes people watch too much TV. You know what I mean? Sometimes, sometimes they really watch too much TV. Or they have people that they don't understand. They talk about what could happen right? And it's not that easy, you know.
Yeah.
And you forsake your family. You're not thinking about your 8 kids. You're thinking about, something else, some other, it wasn't the imagination of what could be. But start with a house, get yourself organized. I didn't hear anyway. You didn't mention that the government was saying you have to give over the piece of paper that you have, right? You didn't hear anything like that. Maybe she should be doing the two things together, right? And finding out what does she have. Get to a proper court and let them tell her, and somebody give her good advice. And yes, the counseling for sure.
Well, let me just make a quick comment on that too, there, Bobby, because I listened to you and I listened to the caller too. And listen to her in the video, what she was telling the story to the producer, in that she mentioned that she got pregnant at a very, very young age. And that leads me to believe that maybe she didn't finish her schooling and her level of education might be questionable in making
Right.
decisions. And the second thing is, given ownership of a property with about 4,500 square feet and a 3-bedroom house on it and everything like that there, I mean, that's ringside tickets. I,
Yes.
I
Yep.
don't see
Yep.
why I'm going to the game every night.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And furnished too. And furnished, I was told.
Furnished.
And the apartment will be furnished.
Yes,
And Kim, so you're saying the distance between Dumfries and Tongue, and
driving,
you driving or walking or whatever the case is
jog. You could drive that in 5 minutes at just regular 10 miles an hour. Not even that much. If you could jog that, you could jog that in 5 minutes.
well, Kim, the
Yeah,
government should give her a
That
car.
doesn't make no sense.
The
Yeah.
yeah.
government should give her a car too.
Yeah.
You know, funny enough, there was a story in Trinidad a few years ago with that same exact thing, Kim.
Uh-huh.
Same exact story, blueprint. And she was asking the same thing. She said that, look, house outside of my immediate area, and then it will give me a car. Look up the story. Exactly, precisely the same story.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because she cannot commute because because of the distance. So we're talking about it, guys. 718-701-5720. This is stuck in your craw. This is a lot of people having conversation on this right now. We open up the phone line to have this conversation here again. 718-701-5720. You could call direct straight, or you could call on the WhatsApp. We want to hear your input on that. So Kim, what
Yeah.
next? No. So the minister make the offer to her. She declined, and she continued to decline the offer. What
Wow.
happens now? Are they going to forcibly move her from there? Are they going to try to give in to her more that she move? Or what are you hearing going to
Well,
happen?
based on the comments the minister made too, he says, I mean, we can't make you do what you don't want to do. It's not powers to do that. So it's really left up to you to make a decision. But they left the offer on the table. If she so decide at any point in time to change her mind, then they would give her the offer again. So it's right as it stands right now. It's up to her. And let me say something about that community too. That's the area where they had the Chinese build these houses, some 100 units.
Dumfries area.
Dumfries here, and right now they are putting down, I think, some 20-something, 27, I think, prefab houses in the area as well.
Mhm.
That's going to be a community that's going to be building nicely.
Yeah, but
And
hold on, Kim, stick up in right there. Somebody said, what if she don't want to be a part of that community? What if people in that community don't like her? She don't like them. She don't want to be around that particular group of people. Doesn't her state of mind weigh into where she wants to live? Because I don't want to live next to people who I don't like.
But she doesn't even know. But she doesn't even know the community as yet. I'm just saying
Okay.
that would be an area that will be building,
Okay.
and I think it would be in the end it would be a very big commercial area, because you're going to have playgrounds for kids there. You're going to have supermarkets opening up. You're going to have a lot of games and things like that today. And I think it has a lot of potential to be a nice community where people will enjoy staying. But I don't understand. I mean, the narrative. I don't understand why she declined, and not even that. She was offered more than once, about 2 or 3 times, and she refused. And she refused each and every time.
Junior,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hello. I just want to jump in there again because another point that Kim is putting in there.
Uh,
When it comes to the community,
right.
right?
Yes.
You're saying that she might not want to move there because she doesn't know and she might not like the people there. But
Mhm.
again, I come in a case we hearing that talk about what she likes. But at this stage, based on what is on the table, I think it's a matter of putting the kids first. Because if you have 8 kids, you want to grow them up in a good community in terms of people around, play parks, health wise, safe for their health, everything like that. So that also has to be factored in a new community with new houses, new things. Also, the dynamics with the people and the mentality in there. It's like an upliftment. The feeling tends to be, a better feeling than you say you're living in a rundown area, insect infested area, stuff like that. So there's a lot of positives that could come from moving a family into such a new development.
Right. Point taken right there, Bobby. We got a
Yeah.
call on the line. Let's just take this call. Caller, your line. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Grenada. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, good evening. How you doing? I recognize your voice.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I not tell it. I not quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, I was intrigued with the contribution made by the caller from the States to talk about the counseling, etc.
Right.
Yeah, but the question I'd like to ask, why can the counseling take place simultaneously with a lady moving into her new residence? Then it will be both practical and theoretical. They'll tell her about the house, what she needs to do. I believe her mind may be at ease in nice new premises, and it could take place there. Why do you have to counsel her and then bring her in? What you want her to do is maybe um, to let her feel at ease with the place, etc., and stuff like that. So I don't see, well, that's the way I look at it. The counseling should take place there, and it would be even easier for it to take place there. But I believe, in my mind, the lady has a side of the story which we don't know. I mean, why you want to stay in a swamp place infested with mosquitoes in a premises that cannot adequately take care of you and your children? And I really wish we said children and not kids. When I kids, I thought she was in
Yes. Children.
dealing with small ruminants. I
Okay.
thought so. But we should say children. In
Children.
closing, I would just, while you're on this thing with kids, I just like to quote Keith Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago, who admonished teachers one time to stop calling children kids, because so when you call them kids, they behave like a sheep and goat. Thank
Oh.
you. Good night.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, caller. I appreciate that input.
Yeah.
Kim, would you?
Yeah. You just mentioned the counseling there, and as the caller said in the beginning there, but I believe the counseling has to come first before the moving in, because first you have to accept the offer, and the offer has not yet been accepted. So we have to accept the offer, and then we do some counseling to move in there. But I'll tell you, and I said it in the beginning, this seems, and the talk on the ground is politics. And I want to believe that until I hear the story exactly from her real side of you, real side of it, I'm inclined to believe some of the street talk. Yeah.
I will put it here that I think that it might not be like directly politics, but I have a funny feeling that from the mention of the ownership of that piece of land, I have that she thinks that she has. I think that somewhere somebody must be advising her that that piece that she's holding on to is more valuable than what she thinks she's going to get. And I think that's where it comes into play because I have seen people badly advised already about what they have. And they sit down thinking, they had people who had little pieces of land by the airport here and say they're not selling for donkeys ears because they know that the airport, the government will pay them way more money to move them and this and that, right? So, so I've seen situations like that, and I just hope it's not bad advice that she's taking from somebody because even from politics, I mean, let's put it this way: history of our people as politics, right? And Grenada, let's be honest with it. The advice she would get politically was, "Girl, go and take it." And then when time come, you put on your green jersey or your jersey. You understand? That is our
Yeah.
politics. Our politics has never been about don't take it.
Yeah.
Because the don't take it part means that you as that party have to find something to give. You understand? To replace. Right? So I don't think that's when you factor that in, I don't think that one as just a pure political that will require a level of something I haven't seen yet. Because here, look in Grenada, look at how many NLP supporters when they're passing out and you see t-shirts and vice versa, their hands still out to take it. You
Yeah.
understand? They take it. It don't matter about party, they're taking it. And then they go deal with it afterwards. They say, yeah, I'll take that, but I still supporting so and so.
Right.
Right? So yeah, I'm seeing that as a definite point. I think this is the only thing that could be, and again, we don't know. It could be very well the education level that, for whatever reason, the limited education could also mean she's a feeling of she feels safe when the neighbors around where she is, and she's having doubts to go anywhere. You've seen that already. You have seen people leave, for example, a small community in Grenada. I could speak to it for myself. Every time I leave Grenada and go away to a big country, a big place, big highways and so, I feel extremely intimidated. I want to come back on my small street in my little community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just me, right? So, you have levels of that, right?
Yeah.
If I was offered a big house in the States, I might very well go to the big house just to have it and figure out how to sell it later
How
on
to
and
sell it
better
later?
I fit. But what I'm saying is I might be able to adapt to that situation. But I know plenty people, that when they're comfortable in a comfort zone,
Right.
right, and maybe she has support base around in that neighborhood but when you have 8 kids, you have to find time to get out and have kids. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. When you have 8 children,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When you have eight children,
Pele ko
right?
Caribbean.
Yeah. That's habit. That's habit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
and when you have 8 children, after the first one and the second one, you have to have somebody who looking after the children when you go and find time to have the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and the eighth. Right? So maybe
Mm.
she has a support base in that community that for the kids, and that's what she don't want to be given up.
Right.
Maybe she see going to the house as more responsibility on her
Right.
for HR. And again, Junior is important because we don't know the
Yeah.
dynamics that we
Dynamics. Yeah.
stress that this is just
On the street.
analyzing as if it is anybody, not
Right.
not pointing directly at her.
Right. Let's go back
You
to the
know?
phone line. Let's go back to the phone line. We got a caller on the line. Caller, you live. Where you calling us from?
Hi, good evening, Junior. I'm calling from Boston.
Boston. Go right ahead.
Junior, I'm going to put politics aside, right?
Uh huh.
And I'm going to say that some people is afraid of changes.
That's what I was going on.
And
That's
I
exactly. You
could
read my
tell
mind.
you,
You read my mind.
right, I could tell you, I moved to Boston from New Jersey. And at the time, I believe my son was either 12 or 13. And he did not want to move because where we moved at, I knew no one. He's going to have to make new friends. He's going to have to, go to school. And Junior, I could tell you, my son, after a couple years, the friends that he left in New Jersey, some was in jail, some got killed, and he came and said to me, Ma, this is the best move you have ever made. And I could tell you, Junior, besides having my children, this is the best move I have ever made in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I can see my investment.
Right.
When I was living in New Jersey, it was something totally different. Moving here, I got a good job, a good husband. I could do whatever I want to do.
Right.
You know, it benefited both me and my children. And again, like I said, the move was hard because, again, my son, though, I had to basically deal with my son. I couldn't show him that I was, afraid to move my damn self because I didn't know anyone over here.
Right.
So I had to put up a front and show him, listen, don't worry, everything will be okay. Now my son is 27 years old. He's a really good kid. He don't get involved in anything that his old friends have gotten into in New Jersey. So on overall, I think maybe it changes.
Right. Yeah.
And if you don't try it,
Yeah. No, that's a very, very valid point. I was thinking about the same thing as well. More so to the change and adapting to the change other than anything else. Yeah.
So
So
you have to take chances, and you would see,
yeah. Yeah.
All right, you
All
have
right.
a good one.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. We got to go back to the phone line. We got a caller on the WhatsApp. Caller on the WhatsApp. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Let me put you through the system. Call on the WhatsApp. Go right ahead.
Yes, good night.
Hey, good night, caller. Go right ahead.
How are
Where you calling us from?
Calling from Grenada.
Grenada. Okay, Grenada. Go right ahead.
Listen to me. From the time I heard that the government were giving houses to people in Africa, from the time I heard that for about 3 weeks since they were saying that or a month, for some reason I know that some of the people wouldn't take the houses. I just knew that, and I didn't speak it up. It came in my thoughts that some of the people wouldn't take the houses because it's political thing. When they had the school books in Grenada, when the NDC was in government, they told them not to take the school books as well. And there were poor people in the school books. They had how many kids and all of that too. They didn't take the school books either. So I to be honest, from the time I heard that they were giving free houses, I knew that they would have people there that would take it because of politics. So I'm not surprised when I heard Kim saying talk on the ground. But that I believe that. I really truly believe that because it came to my thoughts from the time I heard that the government was going to give them houses. I knew that there were people there that would take it because of politics. Have a good night, Kim.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Kim, isn't it funny because it's a cultural thing, eh? It's a cultural thing because just imagine, right? I want to change the dynamics a bit, and I see certain things happening in Grenada, and I said, just imagine if this was to be done here. First of all, sometimes when governments having, or not government, but political parties having like town hall or meetings or whatever, they would give you free buses to come to their meeting, right? People expect that. They're grown to expect free thing, right? And now this, giving someone free and just giving it out like that, people come to expect, and they feel like they feel like, you know what, you should give me more, or you should continue to give me, rather than if you let people or put people in a position to sort of not, give them, but let them have some kind of skin in the race for it, so they don't feel like it's just being given to them. That whole dynamics won't work in any place else. That culture don't work any place else.
Yeah, but Junior, there's a dependency syndrome that's been around these parts for quite a while, eh? And it's poisoning people. And this is something we have to try to educate people. And like I was hearing the Prime Minister speaking all the time and talking about education. And I believe education is a major factor in this decision. Honestly, Bobby said so in the beginning too anyway. You know, we need to educate ourselves in order to be able to make better decisions, because I can't see, from my point of view, any reason why someone would give up an offer like that under no circumstances, not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now you're right. Bobby, go ahead.
Yeah, and I say, you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hearing you. Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Yeah. Again, back on the political thing, and Junior raised a good point there in terms of having some skin in the game. No, I agree with you on that 100%. The house, while the house can be given in terms of turned over to a family, I also believe that turnover should be either one of two things. A limited fix, meaning that where that house is in your possession until you can better yourself, or that house is in your possession where, for example, the house is in your possession, but there is no resale on that house to you. In other words, you can't take the house, fix up the house, and then sell the house to somebody to go back to somewhere else. You understand? Because if you don't put something in it, I mean, if you're selling the house, the value of the house at whatever depreciation level is at that time when you're looking to sell it, or appreciation, the government should benefit in order to get that finance in their hand in order to help another family, right? I don't believe it should be a matter of, hey, here's a free house. Everybody come along, free house. No, because you have kids, you have children, your children are going to grow up, your children are going to live there, your children are going to, and if you have this continuous, everything is free and hand out, and no system in place for monies going back in. Like I remember when you were growing up, we were going to school and you had your library with the books. If you take out a book, you have to bring back a book,
Right, yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That type of mentality, to me, that's the way we have to kind of look at when we're doing things from a government level. So you're not taking away any help in the original phase, because the person needs a home, right? If the person doesn't have a home, they need a shelter over their roof. They need some sort of thing to get moving. But I do believe if you get moving, if you are able to move, then you should be able to put something back into the system in order to help somebody else.
Right. So you don't have that dependency syndrome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the dependency syndrome. Once we keep staying in that, we keep going to a point, and you see this happening in every single place where it becomes a handout society. People less and less want to go to work, less and less want to do anything, because once the government given it, why do we have to go to work?
Yeah. And not only
You know?
government, not only government, I remember
No, yeah,
having to I left New York one time and I went down with a particular shoe. I was in Grenville and I see a virgin. He said, "Boy, I like that shoe, boy." You know, Bobby, I put on a slippers and I give the virgin the shoe. I give him the shoe because for me it was just a shoe. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Okay, no
yeah.
problem. I give him the shoe. Next time I come back around and I went back down again. I didn't know he asked me for a shoe again. Like how much shoe? And them time they he even called me, right? He called me on the phone from up here. And the shoe that he described in the Clarks, when Cartel was singing about Clarks and that was a big thing.
Yeah.
He want Clarks. Like I don't even wear Clarks. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? So you want me to go and buy a Clarks for you. I gave you one shoe already. Okay. So I have to give you a next shoe. So you are depending on me to give you a shoe every time you want a shoe. Every time you see me, it's shoe you want. Right? So we can't have that dependency on people, make people feel like you could depend on me for whatever you want. People have to have a skin in the game, I think.
Yeah, but that Junior, that has been enshrined in people over the years, this dependency syndrome, because I listen to some comments sometimes and people are saying, "Oh, this government ain't give me nothing, but when my government come back in, I get in this, I get in that, whatever." And even the politicians sometimes would make statements and say, "They ain't give you nothing, don't worry. Don't worry. In other words, when I get there, I'll take care of you." And this is at the level at which we are right now. And like I said, we need to get out of that, educate ourselves, and start reasoning at a different level in order for us to break that cycle. Other than that, we're in trouble.
But that's not.
Junior, not to
Yeah.
change, not to
Yeah.
change the subject too much, but that
Mhm.
same handout mentality. Let me give you an example, right? And it's we have a place right here. I don't want to call names just to not bring up a highlight that place. But for example, me, and I have heard a number of people talk about that issue right now. I like to go and eat in a particular place. I like the food that's served there, right? But
Mhm.
when I go to that place to eat, just because of where it is located, as soon as I reach, there's a line of people that will just come and swarm, and they all have their handouts to get. Now, when I can give, I give, but it is a deterrent for people to go there to eat because that is happening constantly to a lot of people. So I hear in the talks, nah, boy, I don't go there again. It's too much of this, it's too much of that. And that's something, and I think it comes from a mentality. Yes, you have some people that they're unfortunate and they went through hard times, but it's almost like it's becoming a culture, and it stems from the top that we really have to the small, if you don't stop the small goes up to the big. You
Right.
understand? They keep, as usual, the first pair of shoes you take, the next time they will want a more expensive one. When they go that one, they want something more expensive. They will keep wanting more until we can instill in them that work for that,
Yeah.
work to get it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got a caller on the line on the WhatsApp. Caller on the WhatsApp. Go right ahead.
Yeah, hi Junior.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I'm thinking way back when, even as a child in Gary Day, certain parties tend
Mm.
to always give a handout to the people who supports them.
Right.
It obviously from the previous government. I mean, I wasn't there with them, but from all what I've been seeing, because I do Grenada thing all the time, it's like everybody wants something because sometimes you would hear some ministers saying, "Oh, they wanted some gas, and I gave them some gas. Oh, they wanted the bill, and I had to pay the bill." So there's the dependency. They give them a feeling of entitlement that when they need something, because that's my representative, I can go to them and they have to give me this or they have to give me that. And I even think with $10,000 constituency money, from my opinion, I say I think that was a bad move. So that if people want this, they can go here. If you want this, because you tell them, I could just sit down, do nothing, because when I'm in a certain situation, I can go to them. I heard a minister one day was passing out to a cousin of mine. It was around election time. I wouldn't say it was in a constituency in St. Andrews, and my cousin daughter was building a house, and she said, "Oh, you're building a house, girl? Uh, how things going? When I come back from Grenville, tell me how things going, and I see what I do." All these things are political stunts, and when they do that, they create a sense of entitlement to the people. So sometimes we can't even blame the nationals. You have to blame the government on how they try, on how they try to use people and play with the minds of people. So situation with the young lady, I don't know, I picked up the program late, that she don't want to accept her, she don't want to accept this. Remember when they were doing the school uniform, many people from the opposition brought back those things to the school. They refused it. They brought back books to the school. And those are very, very bad precedent that is being set for people because they come now and they feel I'm entitled to that. I'm going to sit here, depend on them, and they have to give it to me. Because giving somebody a house who has so many children and refusing a house that is in condition, probably bigger, and everything that what you do is mind-boggling. It does not make any sense. And I think the government and even the opposition have to educate the people and tell them, look, if you something that is good for you, refuse it. That doesn't mean you have to accept them. For instance, I'm going to cut it here. For instance, look at the presidential election in, over here in North America right now. It's like Cheney and this sort of people, they tell you straight out. It's not that we would become Democrats, but we are what is best for the country. So
Right.
they are saying, I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris now. After this next election, if we get good representation from our side, we are right back there. We have different concepts and different beliefs of things. And people have to realize it's time to stop this foolishness in Grenada. Because to be very honest, it is making us look very as though we are illiterate. When we reach the level that you would not have a place of shelter to secure you and your friend.
Right.
These things are crazy.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your input on the topic there. Bobby, someone just made a statement, and Kim, they said that someone on YouTube, they said, stop bashing the lady. Let me take the call and then, they said, stop bashing the lady. She must be thinking that her kids can walk to school now, and she have to pay bus. Are we looking at it from the wrong perspective? Because you can't take for granted that she have money to pay bus. You can't take for granted that she could travel, right? Probably she walked from where she live right now to Tongue, which is convenient. Are we not looking at all sides of it? Okay. Let me Kim. Let me unmute you. Sorry. Kim, go ahead. Sorry.
Right, yeah. No, the walk into town is convenient, yes. But like I said, another extra 5 minutes of walking, maybe 10 minutes, is not bad. So I don't think that's an issue. I believe, and I'm saying this again,
Right.
I'm of a strong belief that she's ill-advised and she's holding on to that for whatever reason. I don't know, but I don't think the decision that she's making is her own decision. I think it's more. I think it's more than that. Somebody is putting the 2 pence in there to give her, tell her what to do.
And Junior,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and again, I come back to the point. If you have no money and the money is an issue, right?
Yeah.
You might think that you're saving because your child could take a 5-minute walk compared to a 10-minute walk, right? You might think that you're saving, but you're not really saving because the minute your child gets sick and definitely living in that area, right? Then all of a sudden, what you think that you saved, believe you're going to end up having to find a lot more, right? So yeah, and it's putting your child at risk. At that is real risk, based on the conditions that have been expressed by Kim, right? That sounds like you're taking an extreme risk for what, a 5 to 10 minute extra walk. No parent, I don't believe a educated parent in terms of knowing what is going on would make that decision just based on those factors. I think there's something else that is behind that. And it can be psychological. Like I told you, they have people, and as a caller earlier said, they have people who are, they are fearful of change. They are very fearful of any change. They can't see the value. They can't get that. And that comes to counseling. They need to get somebody to really work with that individual to make them understand what is really at stake here before that offer ends up going to another family, and it's gone off the table for good. But I do want to raise a point here. If it is that she does belong to a different political party, then I want to commend this political party for putting that offer on the table of the house, because it's been our experience.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's been our political experience in Grenada that we don't too often hear of one party offering supporters of the other party opportunities to better themselves.
That's an interesting perspective there.
Yeah.
So you say that even in the case where she's it's said, because we don't know that to be a fact, we don't know who she voted for, but it is somehow claimed that she is not a supporter of the current administration, but still he or the minister there now is reaching out and saying we'll help you. He didn't say, well, we're not going to help you because you're not a supporter
Right.
of mine. So that kind of quell the argument that has been waged that said that, they just looking out for their own.
There people. I would say if that is the case, then they deserve more credit. That's the kind of thing we need to see from our governments, where they're truly looking after everybody and not by colors. You know, yeah. So it's a tough case to thing without really getting the mother's side of the story.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, you heard it from her, and what you're hearing, there have to be something deeper than that. There have to be. I believe it most likely. I'm going with Kim's side of this, that the potential, if she has 8 children, you want to kind of have an idea of when did she started with very young children. Maybe it's an educational thing. Maybe it's education level,
Well, we
and
don't know that yet.
somebody's badly advising.
Somebody said here, Junior, stop. I walk from Six Roads to way up to Hillsborough Government School. Dumfries is right there. Oh, please. I'm not I'm not saying that it's not. So I don't know if the person get the wrong impression as to what I'm saying. I'm just asking the question that people are asking. I'm not saying that it is closer or further or whatever. So if you felt like I was making that claim, I think you misunderstood what I was saying. All right. So the person who wrote that there on YouTube. So Kim, back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Where do we go from here? What if the minister, the MP is watching right now, or the young lady is watching right now? Give them some advice, because you are fellow kayak. You're kakabawi too.
Well, no, I would advise the minister to continue doing what he's doing, making offers to people who are in need. Don't watch color or nothing of the nature, because that's the reason the government is in there, to assist people who are in need. And if they continue to refuse, just keep on asking and giving. At some point in time, they're going to come to the senses and start realizing, that it doesn't make sense refusing because of your political affiliation. And that's it. But I want to commend the minister. When I heard the story and listened to his comments, I realized that she has been getting quite a number of assistance in terms of like school books, uniforms, and all these other things, free lunch and whatever. And from this government, which is good because they're there to help and support. So I don't see the reason now why you would try to refuse a proper housing facility for you and your children, and you're going to refuse it. I don't see the reason. I can't see the reason, not for all the teen China.
Wow. Yeah. Bobby,
I 100% agree. I know that you tell me that she has taken other stuff from this government. It makes it even more confusing to understand because if she took schooling, if she took books, why would you take, if it is about government and not taking, why are you taking all of those stuff but you wouldn't take the house? Something is not making sense. That argument that she's not taking the stuff because it's from her defunding doesn't hold wrong if she's already taking stuff from this government.
right. Yeah, it's kind of confusing there. And let me tell
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
we at Ride Along oftentimes get requests. I swear, the kind of requests that us get, I put on the thing, they what you want for Christmas. People say they want a house. They have more requests for a house than toy car and all them kind of thing. And them, a house is a big ask. People are asking for a suitable place to stay. And I don't see anyone that would be gifted a house, a whole house, a whole house. It appreciate over time. You buy a house for 200,000, whether in the next 5 to 10 years, that what 5 times, 6 times the actual value. All of those things.
Junior,
Mhm.
let me tell you about something I experienced I had many years ago. Right? I was on a radio program, I had a little radio program going, and it was coming up to Christmas. And a lady reached out to me and told me about the living conditions of a lady living up in Beauchejou in the housing settlement that they were building. But back then, they didn't have no housing settlement up there. It was
Right.
just up on top of the hill, and people were basically squatting, if you want to say, up there.
Mhm.
And I I said, let's see. It was just a reach out to see what people will do to help. Because when I saw this lady and her children, and to see what we could actually do to help her situation, because she was living below a tarpaulin, right up there. And Junior, one guy called a radio program he was, I want to believe he was Switzerland. I'm not 100% sure where he was living at. He sent $10,000 down for the house. Another guy living in River Road, who my memory just cannot remember this guy's name, but this guy is in construction. Every year he wants to build one. He was building one house, helping to build one house, not charging, free of course, as his way to give back, right? So once people getting materials and stuff like that, he building the home. And that guy called a radio program and pledged to build a home. And then calls after calls were coming in, right? And you see, the thing about it is, if we get past the colors, right, and you look at the levels of money, just for example, just take what is in our CBI account alone. If we go by what the government of Grenada tells us, right? We don't know, nobody knows, right? But let us go by the amount that is claimed to be there. Our population is what? 135,000?
Wait, no,
right?
it went up? I thought it
No,
was
I'm not saying, when you look at all the people who we don't know are here, because we have foreigners living in Grenada right now, right? But when you think about it, right, is that, and you say to yourself, you have that level of money inside of a account. Why is anybody in Grenada below the poverty line? You understand what I'm saying to you? There's more than enough money that every single person that cannot afford a house in Grenada can have a nice home built for them, right? So sometimes you look at things and you can't understand it. Why is it like that we are holding this money here, right? But yet we have people that we don't have a good, proper facility for our youths that are, getting into trouble. We have a little thing, but we need a lot more help, especially with the counselors and stuff like that, And I'm just saying that sometimes the receiving the money is more to get. You look at even in America. You look at what's happening. A lot of these people with the GoFundMe pages and all of that. Do you know? I believe raising money is an easy thing because most human beings in their heart are kind and giving people and want to see people do better, right? Want to uplift people. I believe the majority of us do that, right? But we also have to feel that it's not a situation where people think that they don't have to do nothing. They just have to put out their hand and receive. It has to be a mentality that you really need. And that with that need comes you are willing to uplift yourself and take it as a start to better yourself and get yourself and your family up. And not just as, okay, now that I've got this, my hand is back out. I want more and more and more.
Right. Well, listen, the young lady is not here to defend herself or to say it was political or not political, if someone is advising her or not advising her. But I could tell you from when I spoke to her, her claim was that the reason why she declined from taking the offer was because of distance. That's what she told me, of kids getting up and go there. But I will, when I speak back to her, I will really advise her to do take that offer because it would mean a world of a difference for her children, right? Don't pass up. No one pass up on a house. No one. I mean, you take that house, you make it a home, and you have your children. You're talking about long term. I mean, everybody's going to benefit from it. So I would tell her personally to reconsider that. If someone is advising you differently, probably they have a bigger house to give you. Unless they have a 4-bedroom house to give you, don't listen to them. Take the 3 bedroom.
And not even that, Junior, but I want to just piggyback on what you just been saying there too. I would give the same advice and ask her to reconsider the offer and let good reasoning prevail, especially for the holidays coming. The kids could be in a different environment and they could have a wonderful Christmas, and their life will maybe restart in a different direction, more positive direction than what they are in now, under the conditions that's been offered to her.
Right, right. And
And they,
oftentimes, go ahead, Bobby.
and they themselves it can be instilled in them as well, so that they themselves, as they grow up and they move on with life, have that sort of mentality in their own selves to help others in need. I think that's important as well. That we don't just say, all right, we get something. Is this? No, instill in your kids, right? The mentality to grow up and want to help others as well. And because they benefited off of the help of, because at the end of the day, the government is giving something, but the government is giving that through the taxpayers and us, the people, and because it's our money that's paying for that house. Whether or not it comes through something, whether or not, let's say, the Chinese gave it to get something of ours on this side.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing
Nothing
is
is
for
free.
free
Nothing
in
is
this
free.
world,
Nothing is free.
right?
I'm right.
So at the end of the day, it boils down to that,
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing is
you
free.
know? Yeah.
But Kim, Bobby Steele, thank you guys so much for helping us put this whole thing together, analyze this. I appreciate you guys. Bobby, I'm due to have an important meeting with you once I get down to Grenada.
Yes.
And
Looking
of
forward to
course,
it.
once I get down to Grenada, I'm also, first stop, I have to head up to Carriacou, get my passport stamp by Kim.
Okay, all right. Okay, okay. I
So
Can
thank
take
you.
care, boy. Long time
okay.
no see.
All the best. Then. Okay,
Yeah,
all
man.
right.
Thank you guys.
Okay,
Thank you guys so much.
all
Thank you
right.
guys so much.
Okay,
Yeah.
then.
All
All
right.
right.
Cool.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah. So that was, of course, a conversation I thought that we needed to have on this Tuesday, right? Um, my advice after listening to what everyone had to say, after listening to both sides of the argument, after listening to Kim and understanding the area, right? I know that people might say, um, why would you or you should not relocate because you know your area, you know your neighborhood, and that's what you know, that's what you knew for all your life. But the truth and the fact about it is, change is imminent. I once grew up in a very small village in Union, Richmond, St. Andrews. My village is so small. A lot of people don't even know that village. A lot of people don't know that village. But it was my destiny to, you know, see bigger pastures, not necessarily leave Union, but actually grow, right? Because my vision, I thought needed that just that period to widen my horizon on the world. So I took that opportunity about 30 years ago. And that opportunity gave me a secondary opportunity to come back to Union and Richmond and develop and put things that I now saw in the wider world that I think could even benefit my little village, Union, Richmond, Ladigue area, put it on the map. So a lot of people are scared of change, and that is a fact. I remember when Facebook started, there was one change that they made one time where they changed the way how your profile looked. And the amount of people that complained and they said, no, I don't want to change it. Leave me with my old profile. I want it to stay just the way how it is. But you get nowhere if you don't change. You don't grow if you don't change, right? So change is imminent, it's necessary for growth. So I appeal to everyone, although we are not a people sometimes visionary enough to see the dynamics or the best interest in changes. But stop for a minute and think about it. Even when, right, Uncle Gary, as we affectionately call him, wanted to allow Grenada to be an independent country. There was a lot of people that was protesting against that change. Today we celebrate our 50th anniversary. People they hold their flags in their hand, they wave their own flag in their hand, and they celebrate the fact that we are independent. That wasn't necessarily how independence came in. Independence came in the darkness of the night. A lot of people was against it. But change is imminent. It's necessary for growth. So I'll advise the young lady, and I probably would speak to her after this program here today. I'll advise her to take the opportunity and see it as an opportunity. And if anyone else is contradicting that, if anyone else comes to you with a contrast or a difference of opinion or a different idea, make sure that the person who is coming to you with a difference of opinion or the different idea, make sure that that person is coming to you with a better offer than you would receive. Because if they are not, you would miss that opportunity, and then there will be no other opportunity, because people like to block people's progress. And always look up to people who you deem they are advising you correctly. Because if you're blind and you're deaf, that's probably not the perfect term to use, but if you can't hear, you can't see, I don't walk in behind you. I don't walk in behind you. You can't lead me, right? I want to follow someone who has the vision to see the path, because you will lead me down a precipice, I will fall over, right? Oftentimes people do that. People project themselves as being that agent or that person that you should listen to. You can advise me how to build a business if you never build a business. You can advise me on how to do a program if you never did a program, or if your program that you do doesn't, pass the smell test of what's considered good programming. So you can't follow somebody who don't know what they're about or what they're doing, or they don't have a vision. I say all of this to say, change is essential for growth, right? We need to change. So I'll tell the young lady again when I speak to her after this program here today, I think she really should take the offer, because an offer like that may not come again. This might be the final opportunity for she to change and create generational wealth for her children. That's the focus. Focus is not no political body or political person or individuals for short-term political gain. They would tell you, oh, don't do this because of whatever. If that is the case, at the end of the day, 5-10 years from now, will they still be there providing you the service and support that you need when your children start to have children of their own and start to think about generational wealth? Are they going to be there to provide housing and job for them? Because what people don't understand that, a house is an investment, a major investment. I remember when I bought my house, it was $300,000. Now it's far over $1 million. It doesn't depreciate in most cases, it appreciates, not like a car. If you have a car, for the minute time you drive your car outside of the parking lot, the cost drop $5,000 instantly. Instantly drop $5,000. So, house is not like that. Real estate is not like that. Most people invest in gold and real estate. And people who understand this thing also well, who know about financing, know about generational wealth and what holds generational wealth. And if someone is not advising you on this, seek advice from people who could talk to you about generational wealth. People who would tell you about how to make your real estate, your property work for you. Oftentimes, we don't get a lot of this knowledge and information. Oftentimes, we have to learn this the hard way. We have to lose before we actually say, aha, that's what I'm supposed to do. So listen to people who mean good for you. You may not listen to me, you may listen to me, you may be listening to somebody else or not. I don't know. But I'm just saying here that it's important that you think about long term, not now. Think about your kids, your children, and your children down the road. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. All right? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of our program. I gotta say, guys, that I want to show you guys this. We are starting the tourist season, right? We are starting the tourist season, and we just launched our new set of products for the tourist season. We've been talking about it, but we just made it a lot easier. This is our new website. It's called ride.gd, ride.gd. And on ride.gd, you could get everything that we offer, for whether it be a Tuk Tuk booking or e-bike rental, or we have the Sea Adventure or car. It's very easy, guys. You go in, you see the array of options, and that's not just for tourists. Some people say it's just for tourists. Not just for tourists, it's for everybody. You could go in there and book an excursion, a tour, a trip for you, a family member, or a friend. And this is a site that works for all of our products. If you look into rent a car from Ride, because we just expanded into car rental, you go to, again, the website is ride.gd, ryde.gd. If you want to rent a car, you come right here, you go to rent a car, do everything online. You don't need to leave. You select the car that you want. If you want an RV or a SUV, we have cars as well, small cars. You put your information in, bam, 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 and everything is done online. You don't need to leave. After you finish this form, you just go pick up the keys. It's just so easy, just so simple. So check it out, guys, ride.gd. That's ride.gd. It's online right now, ryde.gd. It is our portal for everything Ride. Also, the tourist season coming up. Tomorrow, I think we have the first cruise ship, and we're happy to be providing the Tuk Tuk excursions the Tuk Tuk excursion, the e-bike excursions to our millions of tourists that would grace our shores within the year. So, of course, we've been talking about the Ride Tuk Tuks. That's what it looks like right here, the Tuk Tuk, a little car, and it's for everybody. Again, if you in Grenada, there's local rates that you could get for that as well. So you could check us out for our local rates. But we are fully in line to showcase a whole set of different products for our upcoming tourist season. And we thank everyone who assists us to get to this point thus far, that we could be providing that. So we're happy and to be able to do that. And we're also hiring. So if anyone, if you want to be a tour guide, a tour operator, we are hiring. Just give us a call and you'll go through the process. You get your training, you get your badge, and you could be a tour operator for Ride. Okay? Right Along Live, we'll be right back. Don't move.
To rent a car in Grenada? Welcome to Ride Car Rental, offering efficient, time-saving service with affordable rates and 100% paperless rentals. Whether you're visiting or need a quick ride, we've got you covered. Call now at 473-422-1011 and get behind the wheel today. Ride Car Rental, where convenience meets the road.
Time to do better. Beacon's Be Better Group Health Plan now offers new and improved options that make health insurance affordable for small to medium businesses. Good medical cover gives you a competitive edge and takes care of the people that take care of your business. Get a better plan to build a better business. Call Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
Pick yourself up with Ride Rent at Ebike today and take advantage of the smartest and coolest way to get around. Rental starting for only $30 per hour and less than $100 EC per day. Zip through traffic, save money, and look awesome doing it. Check us out at the Esplanade Mall today. Visit us online at ridersebike.com or give us a call at 473-422-1011. Your wallet and the planet will thank you. Ride Rent at Ebike.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Yeah, guys, don't forget, if you're looking for t-shirt printing, check out Instaprint Grenada, located inside the Esplanade Mall at the Ride excursion. So if you want to get the t-shirt printed, you go right there, get your t-shirt printed. It's Instaprint Grenada. Check them out now. Or you can call them 473-422-1011. That's 473-422-1011.
Ride the long life worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride.
Also, guys, we got to pick up Jennifer's Cottage, located there in Woodlands area. Check out Jennifer's Cottage, guys. It's a nice and cozy place to stay whenever you're in Grenada. That's where I stay. Lovely, lovely, beautiful place in Woodlands. Jennifer's Cottage. Check them out on, let me put the app. In fact, let me put a number up on the screen so you could call them right now and book. It's Jennifer's Cottage. Give them a call right now. They're on Airbnb, so you can check them out on Airbnb. Jennifer's Cottage in Woodlands, Grenada.
Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across.
Guys, I was telling you about the Tuk Tuks. Yes, they are here. And we are going to be starting officially on the 10th of November for our first ride. So you could book and join the excursion, the exclusive excursion with Ride Tuk Tuks.
Heart so bright, tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride is sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong.
Yeah, guys, that's what it looks like, guys. That's the branding representing for Grenada. Yeah, the Tuk Tuks are in greens. Check them out. It's different, it's nice, it is just the bomb. And this Tuk Tuks, this rides, comes with Wi-Fi. You get complimentary rum punch, and we have a package called the Love Under the Stars, where you get complimentary champagne. It's just an amazing ride. All right. Don't forget, guys, you could also get your e-bike from Ride E-Bike Excursion. Again, you could also check out ride.gd and book your excursions and your rental online. Ride.gd.
In spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart
So that's the website, guys, ride.gd. Write it down, mark it down. That's where you get all the booking for any one of our tours. If you want to rent an e-bike, if you want to get an e-bike tour, if you want to get on the Sea Adventure, Ride Sea Adventure, or on the Tuk Tuks, you just go to ride.gd. Easy to remember, ryde.gd, or you could call 473-422-1011.
Strong with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride, a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas.
Again, guys, if you need a car rental, you know who to check, right? Check the same website, guys. You can get your car. It's so limited because Christmas season, everybody booking, so you have to get your booking in right now. If you know you're going to be on the island for Christmas, you got to book right now. Go to ride.gd and you could book your car right there. Or you could call the number 473-422-1011. We got SUVs, 7-passenger SUVs. We got CRVs, a number of different vehicles, cars. You name it, it's ride.gd.
Ride along life, worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people, we shine.
Again, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of our program today. We appreciate you. Don't forget, Ride Along Live is where everyone have a story to tell. And if you have a story to tell and you want to share it, we open the platform for you, all right? Safe space to share your story. Ride Along Live. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.
Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island, strong with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island, strong with the host, we belong.